Ooh, I need you, baby. And if it's quite alright, I love you, baby. Through the morning and night, I need you, baby, baby, need you, baby. That was going through my head. So I said, might as well sing it out loud, right? Like a lot of times when we hear something, it's for us, right? Um, peace, 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 Damar. So I wanted to talk about focusing on self real quick today and why a lot of my work centers around that because it's very important. And I would like to share this to help as many people as possible because it's helped me so much. So focusing on the self, right? Are I'll talk about my beliefs. I won't make them yours. So growing up, I was taught that focusing on yourself. Thanks. Growing up, I was taught that focusing on yourself was selfish, and that you're supposed to focus on outside of the world, people outside, because that was, being more kind, and that also has some Christian values attached to it. I grew up in not a Christian home, but my mother made us go to church because she thought that was a good idea. So we went. She didn't go, but we went. And I learned that you're supposed to be, more focused on other people. So it took me a long time to rewrite that belief in my head because it did. So about 2007, 2008, I started to notice that my energy, I never had enough energy to do anything because I was so focused on doing stuff for other people, helping other people, turning into a martyr because people didn't accept my help, and all of those crazy victimization conversations that come along. And I don't mean to say crazy like that, but like wild is what I'm saying. Wild victimization conversations that show up because you're not taking care of yourself. You're doing all these things outside, and you aren't taking care of yourself. So then you start to feel depleted and resentful and angry and all those things that show up when you are not pouring into your own cup, right? So I was never taught to pour into myself. Okay, so about 2007, 2008, I joined a healing facility called Ascend Spiritual Flight Academy. And in that process, peace, I'm great, Bonafide, how you? I had to focus on myself intensely and learn why I did the things I did, where my belief systems came from, who I thought I was in the world, did it match up with who I said I was, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. During this process as well, I was also eliminating outside interferences. I didn't own a TV. I didn't own anything that would keep me connected to the world at large because I felt like I was losing so much of myself paying attention to everything that was going on. So I knew that I needed to go in, and so that's what I did. And so I just practiced meditating and literally being on my own, unless I was with my friends who had similar spaces like mine. But it was very isolated part of my life because I needed that isolation in order to figure out who I was. And in figuring that out, I realized that a lot of the things that I'd been doing to focus on other people were false, that I didn't really intend to give up so much of myself in that way to other people. And at first realizing this, with the Christian imprinting, I thought I was a bad person because I was like, you're supposed to like other people, you're supposed to want to give everything to other people, and XYZ. But my innate self, my intuition was telling me that this was not working for you. You don't feel good doing this in this way. So I had to pull back. And when I pulled back, I lost a lot of relationships, and that revealed to me that a lot of people that I thought were in my life because they loved me were only there because I could produce. And that made me realize that I had to turn my energy inward and produce for myself. That year, I wrote my first poetry book. I had a spiritual teacher, and good morning. He was amazing. And I told him I wrote my first poetry book, and he was so proud of me. Like, yo, you're on your way. Like he said, he was like, you're on your way to being who you say you want to be because you are producing what you say you want to produce in the world. At the beginning of that healing process, we had to write down who we envisioned ourselves to be in 10 years, and 15 years, and 20 years. Bonafide said, isolation is good when that isolation shields you from negative energy or leads you to self-discovery. Yes. And during this self-discovery, I realized I could paint. I realized I knew I could write poetry, but I didn't know I could write poetry books. I realized so much about myself, that I had so many divine gifts, and that I got to tap into those gifts and live my life according to those gifts. And before, when I was so focused on helping other people, I was always putting my stuff down and never finishing it, never exploring it, never getting to it. And I realized something, that this world functions off of energy. And that I was a huge supply of energy, just like everybody else on this world. And that when I'm not using it to my benefit, I'm leaking it. And that anyone who knows how to use energy properly can use my energy. And that I was giving other people permission to use my energy because I wasn't using it, because I wasn't taking control of it, right? And when that dawned on me, it made me realize how selfless taking care of yourself is, focusing on yourself is, because you were put here, right, with all of these aspects and divine understandings and gifts, right? And if no one gets to see them because you're so bogged down with trying to be all of these things that you're supposed to be for everybody else around you, whose fault is that? Is that everybody else around you's fault, or is it your fault because you let everything around you block you and who you get to be in the world? So, all of the practices that I practice on my page are about self. Everything I do is for me. And that's when I realized that an unhealthy me could never have been helping anyone in the first place. That's the delusion. We think that when we're not living to our fullest potential, that we're actually helping people. No, we're taking, we're manipulating, we're harming. We don't see it as that because the way that it's taught is tricky. It's a mind fuck. You're taught give, 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 and you will be seen in return. But your return is already in you. And your giving is showing up as your full self, not stepping in to other people's lives and producing for them. The misinterpretation of that is so huge. And I see it everywhere. I see all of these people always constantly talking about how they give to this person, how they give to that person, how they're doing this for this one, how they're doing that for that one. And they are angry, hurt, bitter, resentful, and damn right disgusted about it, about the fact that there's no return. Because they don't know what giving is. Giving is not technically giving something to someone just because you have it and you think they should have it. If you truly don't feel connected to the giving, it's taking. Damon said, thank you for always sharing your illuminating light in every endeavor with us, even whether or not you know it or not. Just being you help majority of us every day. Oh, thanks, Damon. So, learning that previously in my life, I'd been taken. I've been stealing, not only from people around me, but from myself, because I hadn't allowed myself to be my full self. Because I thought that by being what other people needed me to be, that I would get some great gift, right? Let me see what Bonafide said. We do need to cultivate our own energy and keep it from needlessly dissipating in order to utilize towards building up the person we were meant to be. Exactly. And that in itself is the gift. When you are operating in your gift, in your highest self, you are giving. You are adding to. You are creating. When you are operating in your lowest possibility, you are taking. You are manipulating. You are harming. And the way that we learn giving is harmful. The way that we learn to focus outward is harmful. When you are your full self, you are at service all the time. When you are your full self, you are living, if you want to say Christ-like, if that's the words you want to use for people who have attachment to Christianity. No one said, and this is the confusion about Christianity for a lot of people, and it was for me. No one said you had to be a martyr in order to be a giving and kind person. But we hear Christ-like, and we think, decimate me, destroy me, so I can prove how worthy I am. But that's not what Christ did. That's so far away from what Christ did. That was his path. His path was to give his life. His path was to do that. But that is not your path. And I just want, when people get that they need to focus on themselves, they don't come from an angry, resentful, selfish space or a negative space. It comes from a loving space, because you deserve love and you deserve beauty and you deserve joy. And it's yours to have. And to relinquish the energy of getting people back, or, oh, now it's my turn, or all of that little bullshit that we like to do, we like to get on because we feel like, oh, when I was there, this person ain't want me, or this person ain't trust me, or this person ain't love me like I need to be loved. So what, girl, boy? You love you like you need to be loved. You give you the things that you need, and they will overflow and create more abundance outside of you. That's the one thing that I got in spades. The more I messed with me, the more I loved on me, the more I gave to me, the more it shows up in my life. The more people around me do that for me. They see me elevating myself, working on myself, being kind to myself, being giving to myself, and they want to participate in that behavior with me. They want to communion with me in the love of myself. And I do the same for others when I see them doing it. They inspire me to love them, instead of from a place of martyrdom, from a place of victimhood, from a place of, oh, nobody else ain't gonna do it, so let me help them. Who do you think you are? That's really where the insanity goes, right? You really do think you're Christ-like. When you think you're the only person that could save someone, honey, that's really beyond. But a lot of us have been instilled with that behavior and those thought processes. And those beliefs are a big part of the problem of why you don't get to live your life in the fullness that you say you want to live your life in, and why you don't have the things that you say you want out of life. Trust me, I know. All right, y'all, that's all I got to say. Unless y'all got something to say, I'm gonna hop off here. And I thank y'all for hanging out with me, man. I'm on my walk. Y'all know I walk every day. It's kind of rainy today, so I'm doing a short one. And I'm gonna wrap it up because, I don't want to get sick. But I hope y'all have a beautiful Wednesday and a good rest of the week. In case I don't get on here, I have intentions to try to hop on, and then I don't. It's Anna. Bonafide said it's Anna. That word, but I can read it, but I can't say it. To caterpillar form a cocoon in order to develop a butterfly. As a caterpillar is slow and limited, a butterfly has wings and can soar through the air. Your energy attracts that energy. And if I recall correctly, Christ made folks think, not just saved folks. Oh my God. Woo, child. Thank you for that. Thank you. And I'm gonna end it with that. You wrapped it up perfectly. We need to form cocoons of energy. Yo, that's my dance for today. Yes, cocoons of energy. Correct. Correct. Because guess what? When you're focused outside, when you're looking at everything around you, this world is a mirror space. It's like a fun house. It uses it, it harvests it to create shit that you say you don't want, to create things, events, world events, and things that have us living in terror and fear. We we are in more control than we like to think we are. We give up too much of our energy, and that is power. Take your energy back. Resource it for you. You deserve it. And you weren't sent here to be a damn zombie. You were sent here to live a full life. So do it. Bye, y'all.